really challenging myself today to stick to the 21-day fix program, like to the T, and drink my water. That is my big challenges for the day, and hopefully I can accomplish those. But as you guys can tell, like, I just got up, and I haven't just got up. I haven't been up very long, and I'm just working through getting breakfast ready and drinking my water. So that's the goal for the day, because I really need to feel better and not eat my kids' Halloween candy today. So that's the goal. So I'm gonna finish making my oatmeal. So I've tracked my food on and off, but I don't track my weight every day. And I was doing that. And I found a tracker that I used in June, and I was just gonna pull that out and start using it again, because it really was the one that kind of helped me stay on track the most. Because I had already filled some of that tracker out, I just looked at the very last day that I actually used it, and it was in June, and I was 167 pounds. So here I am like 5 months later, and I've been swinging between 162, I got down to like 159 at one point, and then I got back up to 167, which is right where I left off, apparently. And I've gotten back down to 162, 163 range, and kind of hung out between 162 and 164. So I'm extremely frustrated at myself, because I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm not doing it consistently enough. So I have just determined that even though this is going to be one of the hardest times of the year to actually start trying to commit to being more consistent, like the holidays are coming, and you know, I really do enjoy just being able to eat whatever I want on the weekends with my family and not have to feel so confined to an eating plan. I do, however, need to be more consistent when it comes to eating healthier meals regularly and not letting my emotions take over. And I'm stressed out, I'm tired, I feel like I want to just eat what everybody else is eating, and then I eat that, but then I overeat that. So I shared with you guys in a video where I did a DNA fitness test, and I got my results back like, gosh, a year ago. And I really didn't start implementing some of that stuff until just this past year, just little things, but like I really started using the information this year. And I am trying to remember that even though I haven't really lost a lot on the scale, I've definitely toned up and lost inches, so that's a positive thing. But I have to remember that I'm really susceptible to weight gain, rebound, and that just means that anytime I lose weight, I gain it back really quickly. It doesn't take much for me to gain weight, and it's so frustrating. And also just trying to remind myself that I can eat some of those things that maybe I'm craving or I want, but I just need to be more careful with portions. And when I start struggling with portions is when I'm not eating like I should every 2 to 3 hours. And I've not been doing that for sure for this past week. And honestly, you guys, I had an entire pizza from Domino's the other day. It was like a chicken, olive, and spinach pizza, and I ate the entire thing by myself. What? I knew going into it, it was Halloween, and I was so busy, and I was trying to help the kids with their craft stuff, and I was running errands, and it was just a busy day. I didn't take care of myself. I didn't eat right for the entire day, and I struggled that evening when it was time to eat dinner because I was starving. So I was like, I have to eat this whole pizza. So I pretty much ate the entire day's calories in one meal, but it was not okay. Like, I shouldn't be doing that. And I overeat when I'm not taking care to eat every 2 to 3 hours. Like I said earlier, though, my DNA fitness test told me I need to eat small, frequent meals. And when I neglect to do that, I find that I am overeating and making poor choices with my food. So I'm really determined to start being more conscious of this stuff, and not to be perfect and not to try to be perfect, but there has got to be a shift in my routine. Really, that's it. I have to shift my routine and get myself in a place where I am preparing for things that are coming up, like the holidays, for instance. And I am working on that, you know, getting some healthier recipes to exchange out for some of my favorite unhealthy recipes during the holidays. I make the most amazing sweet potato casserole, but I have to figure out how to make it a little bit healthier. That's kind of where I'm at right now. And I hope that this week is a lot more of a consistent week for me in two areas. One, making sure I eat every 2 to 3 hours, and two, drinking my water. Oh my gosh, I have to drink my water every day. Like, I forget. I get busy. I drink some water for sure, but I'm not drinking enough like I should. I'm tired of playing with like the same 5 pounds back and forth. I just want to get my body healthy as possible, and I feel much better than I ever have. And I was just calculating it the other day, and somebody asked me about, they're just following my journey here on YouTube, and that's great. But you guys, I have not shared every single thing about my life in these videos, so it's a little confusing probably sometimes, but I've lost like 60 pounds in my weight loss journey since 2018, and I didn't realize it was that much really until I started doing the math when that person asked me this question. So I did some calculation after I was asked that question about kind of like figuring out where I am with my weight loss from one video to the next. You know, it's not very sequential. I didn't start recording my weight loss journey till I started doing Nutrisystem, and the only reason I did Nutrisystem was to get me over the hump. So if you go back and watch some of those videos, I might have even been in my first video that I recorded. I think I said something about losing 30 pounds at that point, but since then I've lost close to 30 pounds. So total, that's like 60 pounds since October of 2018. So it's been quite a long time I've been battling losing this weight that I've not been putting out there on the internet for everybody to see and be encouraged by. There's a lot that's happened in my life prior to Nutrisystem. That wasn't the beginning of my weight loss journey. That was in the middle somewhere. You know, it's just one thing, one tool that I used to help get me over the hump. And I only did it for a couple of months with real results. And then my body did what it always does and started plateauing. And I had to find some other way of continuing to lose the weight. So that's why I started looking into other options of eating healthy. But it was really a great beginning point for me to start really figuring out how to eat every 2 to 3 hours and have smaller portions in that. So that was really what I learned, the big takeaway from Nutrisystem for sure. There's no magic key to the food. It's just the amounts and the timing is really important, and that's what I learned. So yeah, my little boy's playing with his toys in the background over there, so it's pretty loud, but it's not really about sticking to the 21-day fix program to the T, although I am going to be taking you guys through some of that. I am really more interested in being committed to my water and eating frequently, but I am determined, and I am taking you guys along for the ride. So I'm going to get my little boy some Shakeology because he really loves this stuff. But, you know, taking you guys along for the ride is really helpful for me for a couple of different reasons. One of them is definitely accountability. It helps me to stick to something when I know I'm going to be sharing it with you guys. And I don't have to be perfect, and I hope you guys don't expect me to be, and I know that I expect myself to be sometimes, so I have to really give myself grace. And the other driving factor that helps me stay on task with this kind of stuff is that maybe it's gonna help somebody else. And in the meantime, it's like a win-win situation. It's helpful to me, but maybe it will encourage you and be helpful to you as well.
So for lunch, I'm just gonna be taking this broccoli slaw and just sauteing it and having that with my Boko veggie burger, and that's gonna be my lunch for the day. So I'll show you guys what that looks like when I'm done. All right, so 2 of these veggie portion control containers is what I'm gonna have for lunch. I'm supposed to have 4 total in one day, so I'm gonna be doing 2 for lunch and I'll do 2 at dinner. I decided to just throw in some stuff that I had in the refrigerator, and I'm gonna just add one of these cheese wedges from the Laughing Cow in. A little soft cheese that'll melt in there while it's cooking, and it's pretty delicious. Just give it a little extra protein. I'm going to put in half a cap of olive oil just to help me saute it. Not the whole cap, just a little bit, because technically I've had my oil for the day in my peanut butter this morning when I had my oatmeal. I'm going to use this seasoning just because it kind of has everything in it, and there's nothing that you shouldn't be having in it. I'm just gonna let it saute for a few minutes. It doesn't take very long. So I'm gonna go ahead and just wrap my Boko burger in this green leaf lettuce. I just buy this romaine lettuce kind of already done, and it's easy to make wraps, like turkey wraps, or wrap around my burgers if I'm gonna have like a veggie burger for lunch. So it's just more convenience for me. Got my makeup on and
washed my face and got my hair done today. Earlier I talked to you guys and I hadn't worked out yet. So I had decided not to try and put my makeup on and fix my hair before I talked to you guys. So you just got me a little bit raw and unedited this morning, and you probably will again this week, because in order for me to be real and vulnerable and keep up with this, I'm not always going to be able to put myself together to get on camera, but thank you guys for following along anyway. Okay, so today has been okay for day one of trying to get back on track with making sure I'm drinking enough water and eating every 2 to 3 hours. I did pretty good with eating every 2 to 3 hours. I had breakfast, and then a couple hours later, I had some hummus and carrots, and I don't think I shared that part with you guys. And then I had lunch, which I shared with you. I had a Boca burger and the broccoli slaw that I showed you guys. And tonight I'm gonna be having broccoli slaw and shrimp. So it's gonna be a really super quick stir fry so that I can make fried chicken for my family, because I'm not gonna be eating fried chicken. But I have a confession, you guys. Like, I took my daughter and my son out today. We had to go run some errands, and my 13-year-old loves mocha frappuccinos from McDonald's, and I had one too. I had one. Okay, but that's okay. I just have to like give myself grace and say it's okay, it was just one, and I'm not gonna be doing that every day this week, and I'm not gonna be going out to eat every day this week. And I wrote it down. So as long as I wrote what I ate down, I can definitely see whether or not that's gonna throw me off track long term. And obviously if I was drinking a mocha frappuccino from McDonald's every day, it definitely would, but it was just today. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make dinner and bring you guys over here so you can see what I'm making. Okay, so I have my protein here in the red container. I'm gonna just be having some shrimp. So I'm just gonna saute that in my pan first, and then I'll be adding in 2 cups of this broccoli slaw that I had for lunch today. And I'm also gonna be using just one of the slices of the Laughing Cow, again, just to give it some flavor and a little extra protein. And who knows what kind of spices I will decide to throw in there. Technically, I had my carbs today. I'm supposed to have 2 of the yellow containers, and I did have my 2 carbs today because I had oatmeal this morning, but then I had that mocha frap, so I'm counting that as my carb for sure. So I'm not gonna be having a carb with dinner. Okay, so that's done. It only takes like 3 minutes, seriously. I'm just gonna dump some of this broccoli slaw in my container just to kind of generally get an idea of making sure how much I'm supposed to have, because if I don't measure out my vegetables, I will not eat enough of them. So I'm not necessarily worried about eating too much. I am worried about not eating enough. See, that's a lot of vegetables. I probably would not have thought that I needed to eat this entire bag almost in one day. And I'll just add in this little Laughing Cow cheese if I can get it open. These things are pretty sweet. Just quick add-ins to your meals. Just a little bit of protein. And obviously if you ate a ton of these a day, it wouldn't be healthy for you, but a little bit is fine. And I'm just gonna let it melt and saute and simmer all together. I'm gonna put a lid on it and just let it get soft and let the flavors hang out together in there. And I'll mix it just occasionally and show you guys what it looks like when I'm done. So it's just a really quick, simple dinner for me so that I have time to cook my family's meal. I didn't want to have to put a whole lot of mental energy into cooking for myself. So that is why I did something really simple for me, and now I can work on my family's meal. So I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's all done. All right, you guys, so you just followed me for day one, trying to be consistent and making sure that I'm eating every 2 to 3 hours and drinking my water like I'm supposed to. I am going to be using the 21-day fix portion control containers pretty frequently, but I will not stick to that plan 100% all of the time, but I will show you guys what it looks like when I do, and I'm going to try and stick to it a lot of the time. So I'm going to be taking you guys along for my journey, and as I mentioned, it's for accountability for myself, but then also because a lot of you have asked what 21-day fix looks like, and this is not the best representation of what 21-day fix looks like 100%, just because I'm not sticking to it. I probably will go ahead and do that in January and really buckle down and stick to it and see if I can get through the 21 days using just the portion control containers to get the results that they claim you'll get using those containers. And the results that they claim is that you can lose up to 15 pounds in 21 days. That's quite a bit of weight. And if I lost that, I would be halfway to my final goal of losing this last 30 pounds. So I will definitely try it, but I don't believe that by the time I get to January, I'll still need to lose 30 more pounds. So, but anyways, you guys, thank you for joining me today and following along with what I ate and what that looks like to use the portion control containers. But I'll take you guys along with me for the journey so you can see what that looks like and just encourage me. I need you to encourage me. So here I am asking for you to encourage me, and I'm going to try to encourage you along the way on my journey to losing these last 60 pounds that I started out trying to lose in April, and I've halfway there so far. So if you happen to find this channel and you haven't subscribed to it yet, go ahead and take a second and subscribe and click the little notification bell. I would love for you to be part of our subscriber community. And I'm really excited to share my next video with you guys. So if you haven't subscribed, it's a great way to just go ahead and bookmark this channel so you can come back. I'm gonna have some tips for how to avoid holiday weight gain and share with you guys my healthier version of sweet potato casserole. It is delicious and saves you guys a ton of calories. So I hope you guys will join me for that video coming up pretty soon. You guys have a fabulous day. Bye.